first order. All right, so once you're logged into your operation hub, the first thing you need to do is to quickly head on to your store. So you select the particular store, you click on launch POS. All right, you can as well do that from your manage store. So once you click manage store, all right, you click on launch POS up here. From the top tabs, you just click on it, launch POS. Now the first thing you need to look at, okay, so let me take out this. Now the first thing you need to look at is, for instance, I'm going to be using something like a duvet, and of course, we have duvet like the big size, small size, or medium size. That is solely dependent on how you've named it in your services and variants. All right, so let me just quickly take you back to services and variants and how they are arranged. So let me use something like duvet. Let me search for duvet. So I'll just show you a sample. Now you can see we have large, we have medium, we have small, we have standard. All right, once you click on it like this, you see that we have all these prices. Okay, let me set a price for standard. All right, let me set yes. I think they were not available before, so let me put 4,000 here. Let me just make them available. All right, so this one available. All right, so I'm going to be saving this. So let me just save this for now. So you can see the different variants. All right, okay, I didn't add a price on this one. All right, so that is that. So the price is fully set now. Now let's go back to services and let's go back to our POS mode. Now this is my active tab. I'll just click back on it. It takes me back to controls. All right, then I click on launch POS. Now let's assume a customer brings in a duvet, right, a t-shirt and a trouser. So let's quickly search for duvet. So I'm going to be going for the medium size. Now I think I have the medium size here, which is this medium size wash and fold. So I'm going to be going for this one. So I'm going to be selecting two. So you just click on it. All right, so if you have other variants, you can select. If the this thing require maybe like extra services, maybe like cent. All right, so you can select like cent. Maybe if you were using 2 cents for it, you can increase the quantity to 4 cents. So let's say that just that duvet alone is going to require a cent, and the total cents, which is 5, is going to be 5,000. All right, so let's say the color. So you can select color from here. All right, you can select any color you want, or you can just click on the add. You click on the color selector, you select the color that you want, then you click on add. Now you can as well add a marker here. All right, so marker is just basically to distinguish those items. All right, so I can call this white or anything. You can just give it anything, name it anything. All right, then we have these issues detected. So let's say that this particular duvet has an issue before you received it from your customer. You can give a description of the issue you noticed, and you can upload an image of that particular spot where there is a damage or there is an issue on. So after that, you just click on add. All right, now one cool part about this is that you see just this item alone, most customers, okay, I'm going to do that with shirts. So let's go for shirts. So now let's say the customer, his white shirt requires let's say his white shirt, you can see wash and iron. Let's say this is white shirt. He has like five shirts. You have like 5 shirts, and out of those 5 shirts, one requires, let's say, starch. So how would you do that? So what you need to do first is you do this. You select the shirt first. All right, when you select the shirt first, don't increase the quantity, just go to edit. Now once you go to edit, you go to this place, the label, the extra services again. You select starch application. So how much are you charging for the staff? Let's say 3,000 is what you charge. Now once that is done, you add. Now once you add, you can see just one shirt. Now let's add the other remaining shirts. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'll come back to that same shirt again. Since it's wash and iron, I'll click on it. Let's say you click on it, you click again, you click again. So since it's 5 out of 5, just one requires starch, so I'm going to select 4. So as you can see here is 4 shirts, 4 items added. You can see we have shirts here, the only one with the starch application. Then we have all these ones here without the starch application. So that is basically how you can distinguish each of these items if they are similar. All right, so once that is done, so the next thing we are going to add is trouser. So we have trouser. Let's look for trouser. So we have okay, I'm just gonna pick like this corporate trouser. So this corporate trouser is wash, iron, and fold. So I'm going to select 4 from it. All right, so I've selected 4, as you can see. All right, you can add your label. You can add your label here. Now let's say this customer needs just this shirt, this corporate trouser express. Let's say all the corporate trouser that is 4, all of them just express, only this particular one. So what you can do is you click on edit. All right, you scroll down to where we have express, you select express. Now you can double the price from here. You can click on double the price, or you can just manually set your price the way you want. All right, but for now I'm going to be clicking double the price. So it's going to be calculated based on the total quantity of items and the amount. So that's basically it. So after that, you can set the duration. Since it's just that one, it's going to be 24 hours. Since it's express, so it's going to be 24 hours. All right, when am I going to finish that? So 24 hours, which is on Saturday by 8:13. So I'm just going to set that 8:13. all right, which is still fine. Now if this particular item still requires maybe like a drop off, because since it's express, you have to drop it off first before the rest are completed. So what you can do now is you come to drop off. Let's say drop off only. Then you set your amount 1,000. So this 1,000 I'm going to be applying. I'm going to be charging for this particular one. So once that is done, you just click on add. You can see it has express, which is 3,000, 24 hours, drop off only 1,000. So once that is done, the next thing for you to do is just to basically look up the customer. If you already saved the customer, now if you already clicked here to save the customer before, all right, all you just need to do, you don't need to save them again. All you just need to do is to just quickly search for their phone number, search by their phone number or their name. So I'm going to be searching with a phone number I know, or let me just search with the name. All right, so immediately you type it out, the name will appear. Once it appears here, you don't need to do anything, you just leave it like that. Now if you are maybe a working customer, you didn't really grab their information properly, you can use the working customer. Now if they left their phone number or just their name, because there are situations whereby customers may just leave just their name alone, so you can type their name on here. All right, then when they are back, you can now collect their full details and click here to add them. Or if you don't want to add them from the checkout, you can go to controls, you go to customers. All right, from customers you can just click on add and fill up this information. So let me click on the active tab to go back to launch POS. Now you can see everything is back the way it was. So I'm just going to look up the customer again. All right, so this is the customer I'm going to be using now. So I'll just click on checkout. All right, so I've clicked on checkout. Now since it's a laundry, I'm going to be using full service. If it was a laundromat, it would have shown switch to laundromat, but I'm going to be using full service. Now if you want to apply a discount, you can apply a discount either by percentage or by fix. So you can set a fixed discount or by percentage. All right, this is just a one-time application, it just applies once. Now you see this order date, you can as well backdate this particular order if you want to backdate it, or you just leave it to the current state, which is the current date. All right, so let's go to, so once that is done, full service, single item. All right, these one other ones are optional if you want to, but if you're going for subscription, if this particular item is going for subscription, you can just select subscription. All right, you select your subscription plan. Like this one, I have these two, I have this, I can go for the combo package of 15,000. Then the duration is 30 days. Then of course it's by quantity. By quantity, you select how many quantity. All right, so from based on the items you've added, right, based on the total items you've added, or it doesn't really matter, but because the system will still calculate it based on the items you've added here, you can set it as total 15 items. Let's say for this package it's just 15 items for this package. All right, so that's basically it if you want to do that. So I'm going to switch back to default, to single items default. So delivery, now this particular delivery applies to every of the items here, not individually. So when you select standard and set a duration, it applies to all. Now if you also select express, it applies to all the items. So same thing applies to pick up and drop off. So it's not like this one now that you come to this specific item and start adding express, dispatch. So this one is just applicable to just that single item. Then this one is applied to all of the item. All right, the standard. So of course standard, I'm going to keep it normal because there are some contains, so I'm just going to keep this normal. Then you also have the extra services. You can add the extra services. All right, now you can add tax if you collect tax. Now you have the storage, or I have a storage load here. So this is, you can store each of these items. Now if you look at this place here, you see total load unit is 13. All right, so if that, which means that if I come to this storage map and I select, okay, see, so it's, these compartments are not up to 15. So what I'm going to basically do, I'm just going to ignore this for now. Then I'll go to settlement. Now once I go to settlement, I'll see the different payment option. You can see other payment. The other payment can be pending, cash, transfer. So if the customer is not paying you immediately, you can just set it to pending. Now if the customer is paying partial payment, you can select the payment method. You can still add more, select the different method that he used in paying you. All right, you add them here. But if the customer maybe eventually pays in full, you can come down here, switch it to split payment. You select the different module he used in paying you, then you enter. This is just for record keeping. All right, so once that is done, then you can apply. So for now, I'm just going to keep it to other payments pending. The customer is not paying now. Then these options you're seeing, you can add your bank account. However, you can do it from configuration. This is basically where you can configure everything. So if you use custom receipts, you can just add your custom receipt, set a particular number. How your, for example, if you've been issuing manual receipts to your customer, you know most receipts have a numbering on them. So you can initialize it maybe from where the last one you stopped. You can just initialize the next one. So for every order that you create, you always create initialize. So if you have, like we have like 008086, so on your next order it's going to be 0088087, just like that. So for those receipts that you share with WhatsApp, so these are messages, these are the messages that comes along with it. So you can modify this. Then you have all these bank accounts here. If you don't have, you can just click one and add. All right, then this is your WhatsApp phone number that will be shown on your receipt. Then these are your policies, which you can still add, which I've been explaining on my other videos. So once that is done, all you just need to do is to click on finalize. Now once you finalize order, your receipt has been generated, and if you have a thermal printer connected to it, it will automatically print. All right, or you can still reprint again. But then if you want to download or share, you can see this is the WhatsApp you share. Then the message that is being included will be shared along to the customer. So you can as well download this. You can as well click on here to download. All right, download the receipt. Once you click on download, you see the full receipt here. All right, this is the full receipt. You can as well view the web receipt. This is the web receipt of that particular order. All right, this is the full receipt of that particular order. So that's basically it. Thank you.